1, 2. I'll take the chicken then. Welcome back to Literary Losers. I'm Fran.
I'm Victor.
And today we have a bit of a smorgasbord for you.
We got a charcuterie platter for you today.
We've got pep in our step. Our will to live is regained.
It's a pretty bright day today, I think.
The sun is shining.
Yeah.
Stomach full of fajitas.
Yeah.
And ready to have a good time.
Go on.
Well, what are we talking about today, Victor?
Well, we are talking about the Roman Empire.
What specifically, though?
How cringe certain media covering the Roman Empire is. And we've got a whole...
Damn straight.
We have got a whole spread of things. Notably, no books.
Just crap.
Just crap. Just absolute abysmal dog shit that we're going to be talking about today. So today we've got three things that we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about the in quotes well-regarded HBO's Rome.
Yeah.
Which we watched
We
watched the first season of. The next one is a docuseries from Netflix.com about commodus.
Yeah. Well, it's actually about a number of bad emperors, but we only watched the commodus season.
Yeah, it's like Rome, Reign of Blood.
Yeah.
We'll add all the actual names of this.
I think it had one season for like Caesar and then one for like Caligula or Nero.
I think it was
something.
Nero, yeah.
And then maybe a Domitian one. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Even though, don't come at me about Caesar wasn't one of the Caesars. Just leave it. That's talk it up with Netflix.
Do people not think that Julius Caesar was a Caesar?
No, they consider Augustus to be the first.
Oh
Which
my God.
That seems like a pretty popular opinion, but I kind of disagree with it because Caesar was like just the blueprint.
Yeah, he's
people just love Augustus so much, and I think it's really
cringe.
I do think it's cringe. You know who's not cringe?
Julius
Caesar.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
You know who's very cringe?
Hadrian.
Oh yes. Yeah.
I'm reading Elizabeth. Hear book content. I'm reading Elizabeth Speller's Following Hadrian right now, and with every page, I more and more recognize my own father in Hadrian, and it is creating this unbridled, just boiling pit of hatred within me for Hadrian. I think soon I'm gonna hate him even more than Augustus. But meanwhile, Caligula and Commodus and so on, they're just my silly rabbits. to me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
7 out of 10 on IMDb. I think people are stupid.
Bots.
I
don't know.
All right, and the last one is going to be delicious. It's going to be a palate cleanser. Because we have some
Commodus porn.
Commodus fanfic.
We're reading Gladiator fanfic about Commodus.
And let me tell you, it is something else, and I don't mean in a good way.
Last one in the pool is a rotten barbarian.
Oh my God. We'll get to it. We got so much to cover today.
What if no one watches until this will get us the view time. We have to save the best for last.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, should we talk about HBO Rome first then?
I think we should talk about HBO. I think we got to go in order of good to bad. Because it's funnier as it goes on.
Okay.
So
yeah, you're right.
So
because HBO Rome it could have been good.
It
started good.
It started pretty good.
Yeah.
So HBO Rome, I think, is like 12 episodes, and it covers the rise and then sudden death of Julius Caesar.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, I guess.
Yeah.
Julius Caesar dies. So the show is like, okay, it's from 2005. So mid 10 or whatever, mid thousands, just like docuseries. You HBO docuseries. You got your blood and gore. You got your incest.
Full frontal male nudity.
Full frontal male
nudity. And I clapped.
Yeah.
And I cheered.
Uh-huh.
You do get to see Mark Antony's.
You do. We've got really, really, really bad non-existent battle scenes because the budget wasn't strong enough.
Okay, so we've said like what yeah. Well, I'm not complaining because I don't really like the battle scenes.
Well,
that's the thing about that.
Okay.
Because
I'm glad you don't care.
I love shit where it's like what's his name? Polo, where Polo had to get brain surgery, and it's just like this. Just like weird little historical details about here is how they butchered each other when they had to go to the doctor. Like, I would rather have that than a battle scene any day.
Yeah.
I get bored.
Yeah, visually and like thematically, the show looks and presents itself very well.
Until they get to Egypt.
Until it's very visually appealing until it gets to Egypt. Because when it gets to Egypt, it's just like...
Well, they portray Alexandria like it's this, like, just... It's like a dock on a beach, and it's, like, treating it like it's, like, this backwater, and it's, like, not. And so it's just very, like, especially, like, at that time, too. Like, Alexandria was supposed to be, like, a very beautiful city at that time, and so it's, like, kind of, you know... one of the best and most advanced cities in the whole world. But instead it's like sand, broken down wooden dock, beach that is like dirty and not even clean, of just like seaweed slime and driftwood, and there's like a single guy standing there.
Yeah, this was 2005, and the war on terror and the hate of the Middle East was very strong. So I think that probably...
Do you think they were intentionally trying to portray Egypt
that
poorly?
I would not be surprised.
It really was like kind of insulting how they portrayed Egypt and Cleopatra as like just kind of like a shit fest, honestly, and like everything's in chaos and the government is in chaos and Cleopatra is just this like slutty drug addict.
Yep.
I was so mad when they portrayed her that way.
Yeah.
And then it's like a major plot point is what's his name? Vornius and Polo.
Yeah.
Pull up.
The two
them
white
fucking
male,
her is like a major plot point.
White male like self inserts for all the dads.
They are.
And
that is literally what they are.
And college bros watching the show. That's what they are. It's literally a dad and like a big meathead who are like the fictional characters in this narrative. And to your point,
and maximum, they are also the maximum, just
the goodest boys.
No, they like the whole plot is just based off of like them performing miracles, basically.
Yeah, it's not structured very well or particularly compelling.
I felt like, I don't know what episode I feel like it started to get bad at.
I think like after
by like the third time Titus and Polo or Blondie and Pull Up, by the time that they performed their like third impossible miracle, I like as a watcher was starting to get a little bit annoyed because by the time they like met with Julius Caesar and he was like, oh, those two are touched by the gods, clearly, so I can't make them suffer any consequences.
Yeah, it was after they let Pompey get away.
Yeah. Clearly what the show is the best at is when it's like doing actual historical events, I think. And I think that it was because they started adding their own shit is when it started to get really, really bad. Like when Octavia is like, when she starts, like when it seems like, what is the name of Brutus's mother? Septima?
Servilia.
Servilia. When Servilia and Octavia start hanging out, and it becomes like you think it's really smart at first because you're like, oh, like Servilia is going to be a better mother to Octavia than Attia was, and this is actually a really smart political manipulation. But no, they just start making out, and it's just like
it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the points where it's just like, oh, this show is just really stupid.
That was the moment where I was like, because I was like trying to get past the Cleopatra stuff, but when that happened, I was like, well, and when, oh my god, when Octavia started cutting herself, I was just like, what is happening? It's like if you're listening to this and you're like what? Like, and you're wondering what's happening, it's like, imagine if a show started out, this is how I explain it to people, like, imagine a show started out as Game of Thrones and just slowly, drop by drop, it just started transforming into like Glee.
Yeah.
And just slowly you get things that are like, now there's a whole plot point, like, because I looked ahead at the second season and it's like, oh yeah, Octavia starts smoking a lot of hemp, and meanwhile there's just like genuinely important political events that they just completely ignore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's kind of wild how much, like, I mean, it's to be expected with shows like this, but like how much the history just takes a back seat to like...
No, but it shouldn't be expected, because the whole drawing point was that they were doing like kind of like on the ground, this is what Rome was like, and the fact that it was like kind of gross and gritty and it wasn't trying to make it like super cool all the time, like that was supposed to be like, in my opinion, I think that was the biggest draw to it. It was like, oh, we're showing like the graffiti on the city walls and stuff. And then it just started being like, oh yeah, there's going to be a whole plot point about how like this is made up, but it's like getting to a point where you're expecting there to be a plot where like Julius Caesar gets in trouble for faking his epilepsy for oppression points.
The whole story of Julius Caesar by itself should have enough drama to be the only
only
thing in the show.
It's just, but it's not just adding Polo and Vornius that's the problem. It's like where they're on the beach and they, it's like there's a whole side plot where Pull Up and Blondie, they wash up on the beach and they're like the only survivors of this shipwreck, and they have to like build a raft from the bloating dead bodies of their fallen comrades, and it's like that, like, but meanwhile it's like the lead up to Brutus killing Caesar is like so rushed and it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. So it's like most of this, it's the character development and the character arcs are insane. Because Brutus, who should be like just one of the most interesting characters in this entire show, is just like whinging,
kind of weird, like just
whiny and
he's got
whinging,
bad writing,
and he's just like, I have to honor my uncle or my whatever, my stand-in father, no matter what. And
but then he randomly just decides to start, like, it doesn't show a like convincing transition of him starting to hate Caesar. No, he gets mad over dinner one time, and it's like so forced.
So it's someone frames him for saying some mean things about Julius Caesar, and Julius Caesar fucking forgives him. But then he's like, all right, I need you to go to I need you to be governor of Anatolia.
Yeah, I need you to go away for a while.
And he's like, how can I not take it personally?
Yeah, oh my god. and it's like, bro, are you stupid? What would you do if you were Caesar and your friend, and your frenemy was like, you know, supposedly writing stuff about like assassinating you? Like, bro, like, no offense, can you be reasonable for 5 fucking seconds? I understand you don't want to have to go to some backwater province, but at the same time, like, grow the fuck up. God, it's like he's a middle schooler. But then in other scenes, he's just like, oh, I believe in honor and in forgiveness and doing the right thing. And so his character is just like completely inconsistent.
Yeah.
Remember how they showed just all that nudity in the incest scene for no fucking reason?
Oh, don't even fucking
even
get
though
me started.
Even though it didn't even affect the plot. It wasn't even necessary. It was just pointless.
Yeah, so when Octavian like needs to figure out it was
Octavia.
When Servilia asks Octavia to get the secret information about Julius Caesar's epilepsy from Octavian, and Octavia seduces her brother and has sex with him,
and that also is really forced because there's just no setup for it whatsoever.
It's completely out of left field.
It's actually really awkward,
and it shows breasts.
It lingers on it.
It's
and
weird.
Like kind of makes it porny a little bit. Why is this the sex scene that you are showing this much of?
Right, because there's a ton of sex scenes between Mark Antony and Atia where it's just okay, it makes sense. Like it's excessive.
It doesn't really show that much though.
No, it doesn't.
That's the thing, is they showed more in the incest scene than they show in just the normal.
I disagree. There's a lot of nudity in sex scenes.
Well, yeah, but they're laying down. They're not rolling around.
That's true.
It's just after sex.
That's true. Yeah, it's not showing.
It's showing you the act of Octavian sister.
Yeah, that's true. It didn't show when Octavian lost his virginity to the slave.
Yeah, it didn't show it.
It didn't show.
But it shows it, and
it's weird.
Babe, I'm not gonna lie. It lingers on it. It is really weird how it lingers on it, especially in comparison to other stuff.
Yeah. There's a lot of weird things like that where it's just when you're in the middle of the show, you just don't necessarily immediately realize it. But then you're just
I did.
Oh wait, this is
because
really
I
weird.
Was increasingly just I don't know. I increasingly was really losing faith in the show.
Yeah.
It just makes you wonder what happened, because. No, but it's felt like at the beginning there was an actual plan for it.
Yeah.
And it started getting to a point where it's they would write something in one episode and then the next one it wouldn't focus on it enough, or it would just kind of undo the previous episode's writing. It's the writers were fighting or something.
I'm sure they were.
Babe, remember when Polo randomly became an awesome guy? And we thought, oh, it's because he had that brain surgery. And then later he just inexplicably becomes an extremely violent and abusive man. But you're supposed to side with him because of men's mental health or whatever.
Yeah.
But in reality, it wasn't that the brain surgery actually made him a better guy. It wasn't black humor like that. It was literally just really bad, inconsistent writing the whole time.
So the character arc of Polo is that he is this big, massive Roman soldier who's
criminal. He starts out a criminal.
He starts out a criminal because he didn't follow orders and he was drunk during a fight.
Yeah.
During a battle. And so it's just he's just this big guy who's really good at killing, and his commander is Vornius, who's this type A motherfucker
who's normal.
No,
and he's just normal. He's not type A.
He's religious and he's really strict, and it's just
I think he's normal.
He's normal.
Bro, I'd be tense if I was living in
That's true. And so it's Polo's arc is learning how to love, because at some point during the show he finds this slave girl who's being just abused by these people who stole the Roman treasury, and it's just he finds her and he saves her, and eventually he frees her because he loves her, and then and then he learns that she has been like in love with and married like one of the other slaves of Vornius's household.
Yeah, so he just was
And
like taking for granted that she would
just
marry him if he freed her.
And then he fucking murders her husband.
And it's like insanely graphic.
Yeah,
it's like he like crushes his skull
against a wall. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's like mental health, and so he leaves Vornius.
No, and he has a breakdown and he becomes a gladiator and just starts like slaughtering people.
No, babe, he's
no wait, he
publicly he murders someone for
hire. No,
for
yeah,
hire.
He becomes a hitman. I forgot.
And he's really bad at it. And then he gets arrested for murdering someone in broad daylight in the middle of the street. And then
he
he's
becomes
like,
a gladiator.
Well, he goes
he kills people brutally, and it's supposed to be like, oh, poor boy, he's on a rampage, just like killing people in these really gruesome ways.
Well, babe, it's also like
I was
guys band together,
and I was and then Blondie just like goes and rescues him, even though it's political suicide, and he's like ruining his whole family's life, but gotta save the bro. Polo is literally the biggest piece of shit, the worst friend. If you like Polo, then I hate you.
Yeah.
I literally am living in your walls. Because from the minute that Blondie's hard work finally pays off, Polo has nothing but resentment for him.
Yeah.
And just bitterness. And literally, he's such a fucking brat.
Yeah.
Like, whenever Polo doesn't get what he wants, he always takes for granted he's gonna get exactly what he wants with zero effort. Like, the slave girl, for example, he's like, oh, she's just gonna fall on my because I saved her and or freed her, and in reality, like, she has her own life and he refuses to see her humanity. But then I'm supposed to feel sorry for that when he ruins his own life by literally throwing just a big fucking
tantrum.
Just a tantrum.
I killed this slave and my friend's mad at me for killing his slave.
Polo is literally such a fucking incel school shooter piece of shit.
Yeah.
Because he literally is like, oh, if I don't get my way, I'm gonna kill people.
Yeah.
Bro, how? And then the story wants you to feel sorry for him.
Yeah.
And like he eventually gets the girl.
He does.
He's like rewarded for it. I'm just like I don't feel sorry for him. I was like rooting for Polo to die. I was like, can he fucking die all in the arena already?
It would have been so good if he got executed via gladiator in a pathetic way, but no, Vornius had to save him, and he saved him, and then they became superheroes in Rome, and everyone loves them because
when I was a lad, I served a term as office boy to an attorney's firm. I cleaned the windows and I swept the floor, and I polished up the handle of the big front door.
Well, I liked his villain arc too, where I was like, oh, he's just gonna become a bad guy. Like,
right,
he goes back to his old ways, and that's why he would. But even then, it's bad writing because it's like it's a buddy comedy for so long.
Yeah.
And how can you do like a buddy comedy with someone who is this selfish, this bratty, this violent? Like, Polo makes me so viscerally angry more than anybody else in the show. Like, especially the fact that, like, that slave girl was like, oh yeah, we're just gonna write that she gets over her fiance's just insanely brutal murder and just learns forgiveness. Yeah. That's not how the real... Can we stop deluding men that you can commit just fucking war crimes and all you gotta do is say you're sorry and then immediately everyone will love you? Stop it.
There's a scene...
And stop forgiving them for it, too.
There's a scene where she, like, sneaks into his room at night when he's, like,
bedbound. Yeah.
Because he's really hurt. And she's, like, standing over him with a knife and she's about to do it. And we were like, oh my god.
I was like, that would be so
That would be so good. That'd be such good writing. But no. The
plot armor.
It would look... I think it was the Vornius's wife walks in. She's like, it would look really bad if a slave killed her former master. Or if a freed woman killed her former master.
No, it wouldn't.
It would have been such good
No one
writing.
would care. She's nobody. They wouldn't care about that.
Yeah.
What do you mean it would look bad? Remember Niobe's death?
Oh
Bro,
my god. Okay, so
that was
we didn't
the
even talk about this.
stupidest bullshit.
So
wait a minute. I just
Vornius-
remembered
what?
something. Wait, I'm so.
Hold
I
on.
remember something else. Babe, the sewer interrogation with Octavian and Polo, where it's like these characters have never met, but they're gonna go into the sewer and kill somebody
So the whole
no reason.
So Vornius' whole plot line is that he was out in Gaul fighting in the war, and for like 8 years, and when he got back, his wife had a child, but he doesn't know that. They played it off as his 14-year-old daughter had the child, and it's her baby. And the whole arc of season 1 is trying to hide the fact that she slept with her
sister's husband,
her brother-in-law.
Yeah.
And the baby is his. And so for like most of the season, it's just like it's
gotta hide the baby.
Gotta hide the baby.
Wait, but
Polo. Okay, so at some point, I can't remember how Octavian Polo is suspicious of the guy, of the brother-in-law, so he gets Octavian's help to interrogate the brother-in-law in a fucking sewer, and they cut off his thumb to get to learn if the brother-in-law had sex with Niobe, and then the brother-in-law reveals that the child is his son, and then they just fucking kill him.
And it creates this giant fucking mess, and then Octavian is just never involved in it ever again.
It doesn't make any sense.
And it's like, why would Octavian do that? Imagine just
I know why, babe.
Why?
Because the writers needed a reason to get Vornius out of the way during Julius Caesar's murder.
Oh my
babe, that is the exact reason.
Oh my god.
So Vornius and Julius Caesar later in the season they're all buddy, and a man who is just like a legate gets turned into a motherfucking senator, which is insane. And Julius Caesar is like, you're my friend, I want you by my side so you can protect me as well as just be politically smart.
But they didn't want him there on the day Caesar was killed.
So then that's the reason why Octavia had sex with Octavian, was to get information, and she got the information, but it wasn't relevant to anything at the time.
That's different information.
So then Atia learns the information and she uses it.
This is so fucking just poorly written.
Just insane.
So bad. No, and you know what the other thing is? And this is a little bit smaller, but there's a scene kind of like a couple episodes into the season where it's pretty much, it seems like, so Vornius, he's like on his knees in front of Niobe, and he's like telling her that he loves her and he's sorry that he's been too strict.
Right.
And, just like he wants to be a better husband to her.
Like a legitimately good apology.
And he's like telling her, I love you, like I'm sorry that I left you alone. I know it was hard, and I'm sorry that I've been just like snapping at you and not being nice. And it was like actually really powerful because it is like just like contradicting the idea that men were always treating their wives horrible. Like, it shows just like that men have always loved women, and like that is important, especially in a show like this.
Mm-hmm.
And Niobe just reacts really emotionally to it, and she says, well, there's like something you need to know. And it seems like she reveals that the baby is hers, and he like kind of nods at her and says, no, it's in the past. Let's just forget about it and start over. And she nods and says, okay, and they're crying, and then that's the end of the episode. So I was operating for like a quarter of the season thinking, oh, this is already done. Like, he already forgave her. And I thought it was really actually fantastic writing at the time, because I was like, wow, that actually is really powerful. Like, this shows shows how good of a man he is.
Yeah.
That he, like, is forgiving her for what in Rome would be seen as, like, the worst sin you could possibly fucking commit.
And he's willing to grow past it.
And he, like, he is being so forgiving and tolerant that he's gonna look past it because he knows that she was really lonely and young and just, like, scared.
And she thought he died.
Well, yeah, and she thought he died also. And so that's... But then they just, like, kind of... It's like one of the other writers didn't like that, and so they just, like, forgot and, like, tried to write it off like it was ambiguous, but it seemed pretty clear to me. And so that was really confusing, too, because then they started bringing the baby up again, and I was like... I thought this was done. And then when Vornius finds out, he, like, acts like he's actually going to kill his wife.
Yeah. It's
and
completely
then she
out
commits
of character.
she commits suicide.
Yeah, she's like, I'm sorry. And then she throws herself off a 12-foot drop.
And that's, like, also... that's also really out of character, I felt like. I mean, I don't know. I didn't think she was, like, crazy strong. But I also, like... I know Romans killed themselves pretty willy-nilly, but they that was even a little bit much for me.
Like, I thought, I was going into the last few episodes, I thought it was going to be, like, really, like, heartbreaking, because it's just like, oh, it talks about his wife falling from somewhere, and, like, all this political stuff where he has to fight against this mafia boss. But no, it's just... I'm sorry, and then she just drops from like a 10-foot drop off the balcony, and she's dead.
Who would do that?
No one.
Actually.
No one.
Like...
There was character development, and then it was undone?
I actually don't think that's even a realistic I think if... Okay, so, like, picture this. So, like, you're with your partner, and your partner finds out that... like, you cheated and had a baby with someone else behind their back when they were away at war because you were away so long. And that makes you so mad. No, and that makes them so mad that they take up a knife and they're acting like they're gonna kill you. It just doesn't seem like a very natural human response to have your reaction in that moment when your life is being threatened to be like, I'll just kill myself.
It's
like,
that
I
doesn't make any
think
sense.
the immediate reaction is, well, fight or flight.
Yeah.
You know, to freeze, to fight, or to run away.
Right.
But I don't know. It seems like very unnatural, and I think if it had been justified by something in her character, then maybe it would be different.
Yeah.
But it wasn't.
Yeah, I didn't get guilt from her character, like
no,
crippling guilt.
She didn't seem that guilty, to be honest.
No, she wanted to hide it.
Yeah, Babe, this is such bad writing. This is not how people are.
This is not how people are.
Remember the Octavian, like, toxic masculinity plot line?
Oh my God.
Where it's like Mead in Life After Genius, like, oh, it's his mother's fault, and she's trying to force toxic masculinity on him. This is why men oppress women. It's because women force them to oppress women. Can we all shut the up forever, please? Are you stupid? Is this a joke? Because this is my life. Is this a joke to you? It's not. It shouldn't be. Atia is just like, okay, come on, you gotta stop acting so effeminate, Octavian.
Stop reading those stupid books and get out there and kill someone.
I know.
And it's just like, Jesus Christ. It's like,
Can
are we supposed
be a
to
little bit
feel
less
bad?
on the nose, please?
She's just like, you're gotta go out and have sex. You gotta learn how to be a man. How to be a man.
Well, what I thought it was setting it up for was like Octavian being gay. I was like, at least that would make sense to me. But what it's trying to do is, oh, I know Rome was, basically just like child brides everywhere and pedophilia and, killing and violence. But the men were only doing that because the women bullied them when they were little and forced them to do it. Women are only oppressed because we ask for it. That's literally the message that shit sends.
Yeah.
I think we should talk about the Commodus documentary.
Okay, so
Unless you have anything more about Rome.
no, HBO Rome is was okay at the beginning, but
And
now
then
it's
it was bad.
but now it's bad, and don't watch it. Julius Caesar's actor, mwah,
He was real.
perfect.
He was perfect. Yeah.
I don't think
You get to see him kiss someone with tongue in the show.
But yeah, that's HBO Rome. Any final thoughts?
No.
All right.
That was my final thought.
All right, Roman Empire, Reign of Blood, Commodus docuseries. Now here, this is where the shit gets really bad.
Okay, I just want to
Take
say.
it away, Fran.
I want to say my favorite part was finding the reused footage. Specifically, the reused footage of just Marcus Aurelius dying in bed. They just the budget for this was so low that there were so many scenes where it's like exact same shot of like AI generated forum. Birds fly out in exact same formation, and sometimes they'll dim the lights to make it nighttime, but they reused shots like that, think like multiple times in the same episode, just like the outside of a building or something.
The outside of the Senate room must have been used dead ass every episode.
And they reused Marcus Aurelius dying a lot.
They really
just
did.
like looking like that meme of the monkey where he's in bed sick,
just dying in bed. My God. Motionless in bed.
Okay, can we talk about the guy they cast for Commodus?
Yes, we can. Can you go off? Bad. The whole cast was just terrible.
The whole cast was like these people aren't even Italian looking.
They just look like
WASP
above average attractive Americans. Like they look like
we are in Missouri, St. Louis, maybe.
One of the actors' names is probably Chet.
Oh my God. The guy playing Commodus was like way too into the role too, and like not in a good way.
No, he was giving it 11, and he needed to give it maybe 8.
He was so, oh no. He was, I think he really, like, you could really tell he like thought he looked really awesome. And I'm like, in the meantime, I'm watching this and I'm like, you look like you have a Reddit account.
Yep.
Like, this is not, like, why aren't you even tan? And I know someone's gonna be in the comments just like, oh, because he would be an elite because he was raised in the purple and because he wasn't outside doing labor and blah blah blah. And it's like, it's sort of like, can I have a little treat? Can't I too have a little treat? If we're going to be showing like naked women in the concubine scenes or whatever, can't I too have a little treat?
Yeah, just
looks Irish.
He looks like British.
Well, and the women too. It's just like, oh, this
is
woman,
a blonde woman.
She's in like nursing school.
Yeah,
like this is just some blonde woman.
Yeah, and it's just like none of the the casting for HBO Rome was
good. Yeah,
very, very good because all the actors looked very distinct.
They
and
did,
very and like
totally.
Like
yeah.
I can very, very clearly visualize.
And they looked
Julius
Roman.
Caesar. Yeah. And they all looked different, but they all looked Roman.
Yeah, it was like diverse, like subtle differences in the ways that they looked.
Yeah.
Like it really wasn't because okay, all right. So I will say this about HBO Rome, it gives the vibe of like trying to show the grittiness of actual ancient Rome. The Commodus docuseries is like, this is what a white boy from Hastings, Nebraska thinks ancient Rome is like, where it's just like ho-hum white men just fantasizing about being the emperor and like
having sex all the time,
oh my God,
hanging out with your bros. The acting was almost said it was detrimental to my health.
Remember when Commodus was like drinking and like just having all the concubines, and that's not proper terminology because that was like an actual legal status, but just like having the prostitutes and stuff in his bedroom, and he was trying to like doing the blue steel after he like takes a swig right out of the wine jug.
Yep.
I think he was trying harder than the whole rest of the series. Remember the recycled sets?
Oh, babe, I was about to say my one of my favorite characters was the throne room / bedroom / Lucilla's bedroom / Roman forum / meeting room.
Yeah.
Like,
it was
I
like
get that it was a show on a budget. I'm not knocking it for that. I just think it's very funny.
After last season.
Do
you know that movie where all the furniture is made out of cardboard? It's kind of giving that vibe where it's like just everything is like slightly uncanny because it's like there's a little bit too little effort being put in.
Mm-hmm. Was after last season the one with all the pieces of paper taped up on the wall?
Yes, yeah,
Oh,
where it's
God.
like, where it's just everything is made out of, all the sets are made out of cardboard, and the lighting is really weird and harsh and like casting shadows on the wall.
Like, okay, so it tells the story of Commodus. It's just, but the way
I could barely look at it. I was so
like the real life story of Commodus and how he became like it. The show opens with him in a gladiatorial fight, so it's very clearly like capitalizing on like interest in the movie Gladiator, but Gladiator was made literally
except
16
I enjoy
years
looking
before.
at Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, I know you did. And this is just like, it's like big beefy men having fights, and he's like, and I think like the story of Commodus is just like he's a whiny brat who's insecure, but like you could play that off so well, but then it's just like it plays him off to be just epic cool.
Yeah, you're so right.
He actually kind of did become a gladiator.
Yeah,
the secret truth is that he dulled all the blades, so he was never really in danger. But but like the fact that they set it up so earnestly for him to be like cool and
you're
a
so
Roman
right.
emperor who's also in the gladiatorial arena.
Whoa,
and it's just like it's like you're setting it's like backwards psychology where like you're planting the seeds and you're just like, yeah, but he wasn't cool. But secretly he was cool.
Well, yeah, and this is partly
made for people who weren't thinking.
It's made for people who just are not really there for learning anything. It really is more just like, I want to see a gladiator fight.
I want to see a gladiator fight. I want to see a Roman emperor fight a gladiator and win. It's dead ass that shit.
But it just doesn't really work because like, first of all, it's supposed to be a series about like bad emperors, so like why are you trying to make him look epic? Secondly, like Commodus is just kind of objectively a giant loser. Like he literally was the beginning of the end of the Roman Empire. Like he tanked that shit so hard, and he was born into it too. So it's like even worse. And so it's just like trying to frame it as like this main guy. The fact that he was like roiding. Like I know Joaquin Phoenix is like really in shape too, but it's like it'll be showing him like lying in bed supposedly resting or brooding, and it's like, why are your abs flexed like that? No, you're supposed to be a pampered little prince. Like you're not come on.
He would not be. Well, he might be fit, but like.
I mean, he would be like fit. He would be like. I mean, he wouldn't be like. Like a disaster or anything, but he also wouldn't be that level of ripped.
Yeah, no.
That is like a modern level of ripped where you can only, it's, I don't know. Gents, am I wrong to think that having literal 8-pack abs is like, where it's like there is literally no fat on your torso whatsoever? Like that level of, I'm not saying that it's impossible to get abs because it's not, but like that level of like the super roidy look where it's like overly defined to an unhealthy degree is like, it would not look like that.
Yeah, it looked like he dehydrated himself for 2 days to for the abs to really come.
And for what? For recycled Marcus Aurelius dying in bed footage?
For a paycheck.
For a paycheck. Yeah.
Can't,
well, no, I think he was. I don't know. I'm happy for him. Like, I'm sure he was really excited about this role. You know what? Maybe I would be being deranged too if I could play Commodus.
Everyone in this show was phoning it in, including the historical experts.
Yeah,
not
bro.
Not gonna
oh my god.
I'm sorry. I know that they're experts in their field. I know they were probably paid like maybe $1,000 for like a week of their time to be on this stupid ass show.
Oh my god. Remember that one where it's like the historian is just like, well, as the emperor, Commodus could have any woman he wanted.
Oh my god. Yep. I remember you talking about the concubines.
And it's like, all right, thank you.
Didn't
know that one.
Gotta talk about talk about sex. Gotta talk about.
I will say, okay, maybe I shouldn't be using that as the example of like them phoning it in, because I will say I was curious of like, well, would it be seen as like such bad form for an emperor to sleep around like that or like someone in line to do that that they never would? Since watching that and like reading the Speller book, I was reading some stuff about Hadrian and Trajan supposedly getting into a fight over boys because they were fighting over page boys that they wanted to
Damn.
Yeah, and so I guess the emperors really were kind of being thoughts a little bit.
Yes.
Well, I don't know. I mean, the Romans were all about virtue, so I don't know. Which emperor do you think is the biggest thought?
Who do we got? We got Julius Caesar. We got Octavian.
I think Caesar's a thought.
But yeah, he is.
He is.
He is. You're
He's
right.
He's totally a thought.
They're all thoughts.
No.
What?
I mean, not like.
Do you think Octavian?
Not Hadrian.
Hadrian
is not a thought. He's a thought in the derogatory term.
Yeah.
But not in like a type of
like a
cool
sexy fun term. Yeah, I think in terms.
Okay, Augustus is not a thought. Augustus is an incel. I don't care how many times he literally had sex. He's still an incel.
Yeah, I know.
To me.
He's one of those men where it's like
coded.
it doesn't matter how many times they had sex, they cannot shake the incel stink. There are so many men, an increasing number of men, and you know who you are.
It's like the cheese touch.
It's a cheese touch. Or like the stink from that one Seinfeld episode.
It doesn't.
The carbio, where no matter what you do, you can't lose it. You
can't exercise it.
You can't get rid of it.
Yeah.
You could straight up have vaginal sex with a woman, and you'd still be an incel.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, and Octavian.
That is so real.
Octavian's one of them.
You know what? Octavian is one of them.
And Julius Caesar doesn't...
Thank you for calling him Octavian, not Augustus.
Yeah.
I think it's just... Well, babe, this is my theory. I think there are so many incels who love Augustus so much.
Why?
That the cheese touch of
has
incel
transferred?
It's transferred through time
via osmosis,
and it has
cellular diffusion.
It has transferred over to him, so now Augustus has the incel cheese touch.
Damn! Just watch Gladiator again.
Yeah, just watch Gladiator. Just come
It's
on.
not historically accurate, but it's way better.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. Who needs that?
Yeah.
Who needs that, really? Oh yeah, remember when we were just coming up with reasons to multitask and like not actually look at the screen for the last couple of episodes of that commodus documentary?
Yes.
I remember when we stayed up until like 1 a.m. finishing it
Oh,
because I was like, I don't want this to bleed into
We
next
don't want to
weekend.
spend next weekend doing it, so we stayed up until 1 watching this dumb commodus TV show, eating cupcakes or something.
No, I was eating popcorn.
You were eating popcorn. I think I was eating the red Wily Wallaby.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Your fucking fault.
It is my fault.
This is the danger of showing your girlfriend man movies.
I know.
Because you were like, "Oh, I'm sorry, babe. We're going to have to watch a man movie tonight." And I was like, "Fine." And so we put on Gladiator.
And then your life changed.
I was bored as hell. I fell asleep during it.
Yeah.
And then like 2 weeks later it struck me. And I was like, "Wait a minute. There might be something in this." And so I put it back on and I was like, wow, why can't I stop looking at this guy? What is wrong with him? And eventually down the line I realized that he's so compelling to me because he's just like a slightly off version of Victor. And so it's like I get to see Victor for the first time, but it's just altered. Victor 2.
You're so fucking funny.
Praetorian, Caesars, and Peanut Gallery.
Hold on to your butts,
Yeah.
because we're about to dive into some really bad commodus smut. The first one is we're not gonna read much.
Wait, babe. Can I just say?
Yeah.
I want to talk about the state of Gladiator fan fiction really fast.
All right, you're the expert, so please go on.
Well, I just want to say to everyone that's writing about Geta and Caracalla from the second Gladiator, I want to say you're a degenerate. I want to say you have terrible taste, and I hate you.
And you're worse than the Commodus Maximus Mpreg writers.
There are people writing that?
Babe, we talked about this. We saw this.
No, babe. We were talking about a different
No, babe, but no, we saw No.
an MPreg that we can't talk about on this recording because
well,
let's just say
it is September. It is September 12th.
September 12th.
We're gonna leave it at that. And we're in a really good mood.
I don't.
But no,
and it's not the Bin Laden George. It is not that. It is not the Bin Laden George W. Bush MPreg that you're thinking of.
It is. No, I saw.
Right,
I absolutely saw Marcus, or sorry,
Who do you
Commodus.
think? Who got pregnant in that one? Was it Commodus?
It must have been Maximus.
You think Commodus tops? In
No,
that scenario,
he's like a power bottom.
I think people perceive him as a power bottom. I think, okay, can I say my truth? I think that canonical Gladiator Commodus, first of all, would be so abysmal and awful in bed, just to the point where it's canonically, I don't even believe that man is having sex because I think he is too emotionally damaged. I think he is deranged. I think that, could he even get it up? I don't even think he could. I think that he actually, I think a lot of people on fanfic are conceptualizing of him as conceptualizing him as this bratty, like
Yeah.
power bottom. I don't think that's what Commodus is at all. Like they're having him in like femdom and everything, where like a woman puts him in his place, and it's
Yeah.
like I don't think that this is realistic sexual characterization for this character. I think the canonical Commodus would be so insanely, like he would be obsessed with thinking of himself as a dom, even
Yep.
though he's awful at it. He would beat the ever-living shit out of you.
Oh my
He would
God,
be the
yeah.
most insanely insecure in his masculinity. I think Canon Commodus would be like, he starts crying about his own emotional problems during sex, and then he beats you for it and
Yeah.
blames you for it.
Yeah.
Like, but I don't think that he is like this bratty, subby, whatever.
No.
Like, cause he wants to dominate. Like, that's his whole thing. But his whole thing is that he is pathetic while he is doing his, like, domination fantasy.
Yeah.
And that it's fucking fake. That's the whole
Right.
point of the movie.
Yeah.
It's like real, true strength versus just, you know,
Performance.
little insecure babies who like to play at being strong.
Yeah. And there's so much of this fanfic where it's just like Commodus is a bratty, like
Yeah,
like
a bratty
a
sub.
bratty sub who just wants to take.
Well, no,
And
but
just
but this is the fucking thing, is they say they're gonna write that, and then they just write, like, and guy having sex.
Right.
Like, just a normal guy having just, like, rote, straight sex.
At best, and at
best.
worst, it is, "Hi, honey, welcome home."
Oh my God.
Like the two that we are going to be looking into today.
That is my favorite subgenre, is Commodus has, like, had a lobotomy, and he's, like, your supportive boyfriend now.
So the one that I want to start off with is the one that we read most recently.
Okay, the party one.
The party
where
one.
His out-of-town friend is coming. His
And-
female out-of-town friend who owns her own business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Lucilla's like, "Oh, I hear
This person is coming back.
this person is coming back to town," and Commodus is like, "I gotta make sure everything's perfect.
I have to rehearse.
I'm nervous. I'm sweating."
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
like-
just
it's like
fixing his hair, and it's like,
I gotta look perfect.
when women write things as if they have never met a man before in their entire life, I don't know, it's like you're not even pretending to put it in ancient Rome. It's just the only thing that makes it Rome is the room is marble instead of just being an apartment. So the one that we read most recently.
The one that we read most recently was, as we described, Commodus's best friend comes back to Rome, and Commodus throws an absolute rager, and then they have drunk sex.
Yeah, but it's like, well, okay, so first of all, can we talk about the rager?
Please.
Okay.
Please.
So first of all, this is crazy because when Victor and I were reading this and having a little chuckle over it, like, I was like, push his glasses up nose.
Nerd emoji face.
I know, literally nerd emoji face. Like, you can't dance in formal Roman toga, which is what they're wearing. And from what I understand, dancing was, like, kind of a thing that was done by, like, slaves and whores and clowns for the entertainment of the upper classes, but it was seen as, like, really, like, base and, like, laughable to be, like, doing a ton of dancing yourself. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that is what I have read, what I've gleaned so far from what I have read on Rome. Please do provide me with a source and a book recommendation or an article recommendation if you have contrary information. I would love to read that.
So
anyway,
you can correct this author on
so
her
no, so I can correct
inaccuracy.
myself on my own misjudgment of this fanfic. But based off of my current information, it is not accurate to have Commodus go, hit it, boys.
Hit it, boys. And then the Star Wars Cantina music
and then
playing.
the band starts playing, and everyone just goes absolutely nuts, just twerking and shit.
Remember
That
when,
is not what Roman parties were like.
remember how he gave Falco a salute from across the
Yeah.
party? And it's just like he
that's
wouldn't
my
do
buddy.
that.
I know, they weren't even like real friends like that in
Yeah,
the movie.
there was just like just all this shit, like, oh, welcome back to Rome. I think you could be a great merchant as part of the Roman Empire for providing us just
alternate universe where everything is fine in Rome and it's not a fascist dictatorship and Commodus has a good home life and you can be a woman and just own this like really like high level business and fuck, someone's gonna be like, oh, if you're a woman you could sell your weaving. No, this was like she owned a consulting firm or something.
Like a merchant empire.
I know. It was literally like she was like, oh yeah, we're thinking of expanding to other provinces. Just like, oh my God.
I get that.
We have to go to the Roman Better Business Bureau for this.
the Rome Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah.
I get that everything around the sex is just to put the reader / the author in the correct mind frame for reading about the sex.
Just do like a college alternate universe where Commodus is
a frat bro.
Just some frat bro.
Yeah, I know.
This is the thing also is people are like, oh, Commodus is like a soft boy. No, Commodus is a bad
He's
frat
a bad boy.
He's not even a bad boy. Commodus is like the most nightmarish frat bro you have ever met in your entire life.
That's true, yeah.
Like, just nasty.
Wears vineyard vines, shorts and polos.
You know I had to do it to him, guy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just I know the type.
I
met him. So
Bermuda
shorts, sandals. We got a polo and then a sweater draped over the shoulders. That's what he is. Oh my
God, yeah.
So
majoring in business.
Want to come out on my dad's yacht. So they're at the party, and then he makes a move on her, and it escalates, but they're really drunk already. Yeah. And then they decide to go swimming in the bath at the palace.
No. So he takes her upstairs, and they're in his bedroom.
They don't go to his bedroom. They go to the baths first.
No, I thought the baths were his personal baths attached to his bedroom.
Yeah, they go to his personal baths.
Yeah.
First. Oh, yeah.
But I thought it was attached to his bedroom.
No, because they have to cross the hallway and the servants see them.
How do you remember this shit?
Babe,
How do you know the layout of Commodus's fake palace in this fucking fanfic
I was very deeply impacted by this 750-word fanfic.
Well, no, I thought it was attached to the bedroom because they strip and then they run to the bathroom.
No. They strip in the bathroom and then they jump in.
Such a fucking mess.
So they strip naked and they're all like shy and like sheepish.
They are?
I think so. And then they jump into the bath.
Last one in is a filthy barbarian.
Yeah.
You know, they were really patting themselves on the back for that.
Fran is just like historical accuracy 0 out of 10.
Well, and I think at one point Commodus is taking off his socks. According to my sources, according to I'm just saying, I think I may have seen a sock mentioned, and according before I read the Commodus smut, this is too historically inaccurate. He's not even in character. He hasn't beaten her yet. Like, I'm like, I want this to be the least sexy thing I've ever read, but goddamn, I want it to be accurate. But like, okay, I believe I saw a sock mentioned, and according to my sources, the Romans did not wear socks as we know them. They would sometimes wrap their feet in, like, things to keep shoes from chafing, but socks were not a regular thing. Have alternate sources, please recommend them.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, I think I saw a sock. And I did picture just like a white sock, like one of yours.
Yeah, just like a long,
Just like a
like,
gym sock.
yeah, gym sock.
Yeah, like a running sock.
So yeah, so they pull their clothes off, they jump
into
they
the
cannonball
pool.
into the baths.
It's like, and no, you know what else confused me?
What?
Is, because like I was picturing this bath as like being attached to his bedroom. So I was picturing it like, not like giant, but no, not like tiny, but like normal size, kind of like nothing like not much bigger than like this room we're in now.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, so they're cannonballing in the pool, so it's really deep, even though it's on like the second floor. But whatever.
Oh yeah, wait a minute. Second floor indoor pool. What in ancient Rome? Damn, their engineers were crazy.
But then, like like later in the scene, he is like supporting her by like standing in the water. So I'm like, is this just, if you think about the pool being as long as this room, it's like, how steep is the drop off to get into cannonball territory?
Babe,
and, like,
I'm imagining a pool about the size of the one at the hotel that we stayed at for our anniversary. Maybe bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's like a pretty steep grade
It'd
to
have to
be
be
like, it's like there's just a pit in it that you can cannonball in, but if you do that anywhere else, you break your leg. you gotta be
just cannonball in. You just become a quadriplegic.
You have to be, yeah. That's the crazy thing is he doesn't even warn her beforehand. So they're just stumbling and drunk.
Yeah, they're drunk, slipping on the travertine.
Well,
it's just like I'm like stressed out because I'm like they're gonna slip and crack their heads open.
Well, this is the thing is the scene lingers so much on them just slipping and like almost hurting themselves so bad
stressful
on like the tile and just struggling to remain upright, and it's like, God, how much fucking water? Wait, babe, it's like downstairs at the party. There's like water dripping. And like water starts dripping down. Falco nervously looks up, holds
just a drop of water. I see the scene now. Falco is holding his glass of wine. He is doing the jig, and and a drop of water falls into his wine. He looks at it. Then he looks up and he sees another drop, and it lands on his forehead. And then it goes.
And then what?
And then it cuts to the pool.
But they did it. Okay. The pool scene was so confusing. Because I kept being like, are they doing it now? And then by the end of the scene, it just turns out that
there was no penetration.
I'll just like bleep out a shit ton of this. So just speak like you normally would.
Yeah.
I was like, is he her yet?
No, he's not in yet. There was no penetration. He was his against her, and she from that.
Okay.
And he's like pushing, like holding her up.
He's like such a gentleman for like making the woman first.
No, I think she was just that horny. I think he was just like and just like making out with her and is just accidentally doing that.
Yeah.
And then she I don't really...
Is it realistic to expect a man to last that long?
No, a man
that
is
kind
babe,
of stimulation?
a man is gonna be like, he's not gonna be a gentleman in that.
He would lose it. I don't think
babe,
he could last long enough for her to.
Babe, if he stands, men who their against a and don't, that is self-control. That is a Buddhist monk level self-control. Guys, if you know, you know. And then they move from the pool. They slip and slide across the floor.
Yeah, almost dying. And it's also like they're struggling to not throw up or pass out. And the author keeps making this like abundantly clear where it's just like, oh, she wanted to make sure they could have sex before they threw up.
Yeah, so they eventually get to the bed and they start having sex, and but it's really uncomfortable because it's talking about like, oh, they just need to before they either pass out or throw up. You remember that?
I do. I'm just the reason my face looks weird is because I'm like, why? Because it's clear that this person wrote this for their own gratification, but then I'm like, why would anyone want to think, because it like makes you feel ill thinking about it, where it's like really uncomfortable and you don't want to be embarrassed from throwing up or passing out, and like you don't want it to be ruined. I don't know, it's just
also,
like,
if you're that drunk, your libido is screwed. So they manage to stumble and fumble their way onto his bed, and then they have sex, and it's really
not described much.
It's not described because they do the thing where it's just like they're talking about him, and it's just like, oh, he had already been it's like, oh, he had already, it's just like, and he was getting so close, and then, well, he had been aroused for a very long time, so it's just, it doesn't even talk about like any sort of like the physicality of actually like or having sex, because it's just like, it's clearly written by a woman who's uncomfortable with sex and physicality, but who's also very horny. So it's just like, there's no like gratification. It's just like, oh, and then they woke up.
I was confused because by the time it went to like the next day, and then I was like, wait a minute, did he even come, or did they just pass out? Commodus gets nothing.
He's such a gentleman that he doesn't even.
I have no words.
I have plenty of words. Most of them have been said. But it's just like, and then they wake up and it's just like, oh, we got so drunk and we had sex.
And it's like, yeah, you were so drunk that I was like worried.
I know.
Like, yeah, I was it's like not sexy.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, we just have a little headache. I'm like, no, you would be
throwing up on each other.
Oh, it'd be so bad if you were that drunk. It would
be really embarrassing.
Oh my god, it would just be horrible. It's just nightmare fuel. But and then it's just like, oh no. And then it's just like, we looked at, and then she describes like the.
Yeah, no, and then it's like, okay, why are you getting so graphic about that, but not about the actual sexy part of him?
Right. And then they're just like, yeah, exactly. Well, it's because she's uncomfortable with sex.
That is more uncomfortable than actually describing him.
I know, it's just
you're
like,
not describing the when it's actually like attractive.
Right.
Instead it's just like gross.
Oh my god, and then she's just like, oh my god, my butt.
What do we even do? My butt hurts.
My butt hurts. And then Commodus is just like, why does my butt hurt? And
it's just supposed to be like funny.
But it's just like, was she was he actually bottoming? Like, it's so...
Well, but I thought it was because they fell by the pool.
No, I don't think they did. I think
they did. Well, I think because they were talking about injuries they had from the previous night, and one of them was from falling by the pool.
Right. But I think that it was my butt hurts because because we did so much wild, crazy sex last night. I think you're right. I can't remember any of it, but it must have been really wild.
That's like not hot.
It's
if you
not.
Can't remember the sex.
The whole point is to imagine. This is the thing. Is it's just like, isn't
the whole point is to have it be hot.
Yeah, the whole point is to have it to be hot so you can just be flustered and that's what it's for.
No, I want it to be in character.
I know.
I
know
to be I'm not interested. I can get myself off. I want to read. I want to read a character study. Fuck it. I'm like, I don't want this smut to be arousing in literally any way. I want it to
you want to be historically accurate.
I want it to be historically accurate, the most gritty realism possible. I want it to put me in a bad mood.
I will read the summary. Commodus sits pouting in his bed, effectively forcing obedience. Who knows? Maybe you really are his first.
Oh,
You're his
no.
servant, a maid who is unusually close to him, apparently.
She's close to him in this?
No.
She's supposed to be close to him?
Yeah. So this whole thing is just like
confusing.
It's confusing because it's just like Commodus calls you in because he's angry and petulant and he wants to have sex, and then you just like verbally abuse him in a very boring way.
But then he doesn't. It's like really weird because it's like they don't really write him as submissive in literally any way whatsoever. And so it's like it's almost like they knew it would make him completely unattractive if they wrote him as too submissive.
He's not submissive, but he's really petulant and like baby.
He is?
Yes. He mutters as if to himself, standing again and looking directly into your eyes. They were still moist and red from crying, and he looked tired.
That's realistic.
I mean, it is realistic, but it's
so how's that petulant?
I don't know. Let me have you take everything.
Well, yeah, that's literally like he's being dominant. It's like they were like, oh, it's like it's like they forgot what they were trying to write.
Let me have you, self-insert. He whispers, breath hot against your lips as he slid his hands down your body. Yes, take it. Take everything out on me, you sputter, lip quivering.
Yeah, this is like, the main character is being passive.
Yeah. And then it's I'm not reading any of this, but it is just very funny.
I love this. Instead of God, yes, it's God's yes.
Yeah, he whines. You whore, he whines. I need you, Commodus. So he's just being dominant.
Where he's like muttering to himself about how good it is, and they describe it as he rambles.
Okay, here we go, and then we got the golden line of this whole thing where it's talking about him actually having sex. You feel him.
No.
Himself into you with the innate goal of making himself. All right, fellas, I gotta ask you, have you ever?
That is the line of the century. We've been quoting that nonstop.
Have you ever into your lady or guy with the innate goal of making yourself? If you ever had the innate goal of making yourself.
This is just my favorite sentence in the history of all of literature.
Yeah.
And with the innate goal of making himself.
Yeah.
With the innate goal. It's like they're trying to reach a word count or something. Like,
yeah.
Why does it describe him as a bitch?
I was just about to get. So the next line from Commodus is, "Tell me you need it. Tell me that you need me." He pleads, gasping and panting like a bitch in heat. He was drenched in sweat. What?
I mean, the drenched in sweat makes sense, even though they've only been going for like 1 minute.
I know. Damn, that's intense.
That's probably realistic. Let's be real.
Desperate. Something about the pathetic, desperate way he you drove you wild.
Was it pathetic?
Yeah.
It's literally like guy has sex, just like normal on top, and is like calling the woman a whore, kind of in like a sexy way, I guess. And that's just like, she's like, oh, he's so pathetic and desperate, like a bitch in heat. It's just like,
Whoa.
you know what? Wait a minute. Wait a minute, I have feminist commentary on this. I think this is legitimately subversive, actually, because it's undermining the idea that being in the male sexual position is inherently dom. I think I'm onto something.
I think you're onto something.
I think this is actually a radical text.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Oh
I think
my
this
God.
is a radical feminist text.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah,
By now, it hadn't been more than 5 minutes.
Yeah, he against your stomach until he gasping for air.
They say it's going to be about a petulant emperor, but really it's just the main character being subby.
I know, but it's still, but they say that he's desperate and he panting like a bitch.
Ladies, next time you're having sex with just a regular straight man, remember to think to yourself as he's panting like a bitch in heat.
And then one of the last lines is he exhales, collapsing beside you, grabbing onto your body and pulling himself close. You're the only one who really loves me. And so at the end of it, it's just like snuggles and cuddles and like normal like after sex stuff, and it's just like
kind of like that line, actually.
You're the only one who really
the whole thing is like terribly written as a lead up, but
yeah,
that actually is a believable line from that character,
right?
Just like that kind of like creepy, desperate, like don't leave me or I'll kill you type of thing. I think that's realistic, especially after he's just doing nothing but verbally abusing her the entire time.
Yeah,
but also it's not really, I don't know, despite that, I don't feel like it's properly led up to. I think it could have been a really nice one-shot if anyone knew how to write anymore, but they don't, so...
No.
I love the idea that is a conscious action that you have to, like, remember to do.
I think that takes the cake for me. Oh my god, this was published in 2020. This was published in June.
Of this year?
Of this year.
It's probably because someone's been finally watched Gladiator on my request.
Oh yeah, This is their first AO3 post. So
Oh damn.
Yeah.
It's probably a good thing we're spoofing this, or else someone might think it's mine. I promise you that my AO3 account has been around for longer than that. And I don't use it anymore.
All right.
I said that's funny.
Well, there you have it, folks. You've got 4 pieces of ancient Rome content for you to chew on.
Let us know which one was your favorite. And let us know, leave us your bad book and movie recommendations in the comments.
Just generally?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, right now, should we tell them what we're reading right now?
All right, yeah. So
Hibiscus Mask.
Oh my god.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, we're reading Hibiscus Mask.
I got it for free on my college campus.
We're reading Hibiscus Mask
by Rich Shapiro.
Rich Shapiro.
And it's racist.
It's real racist. It's real bad. And it feels like it is the most over-edited book I've ever read in my life.
It makes me dissociate.
Yeah. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.